Hey, this is Skullgirdle and welcome to Being a Plus Size Goth. Here's your trigger warning. I use the word fat extensively to refer to myself and others who are heavier than average. I call us fat people. I call me a fat person. I use it 95% of the time denotatively, though I have to admit that the negative connotative meaning does creep into my language sometimes. I personally use it because I'm like, fuck you. If you think you can call me fat, I'm gonna call me fat too. Only I'm not gonna mean it the same way as you do. But if it's gonna trigger you, if it's gonna put you into an anxiety attack that has you not sleep for a week, or a depressive state that it takes you 3 months to get out of, just stop the video. Go somewhere and do something way more fun than watching this bullcrap. If you're extremely empathetic, it's possible that you'll get upset too, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get upset. So by all means, turn off the damn video if it's gonna freak your shit out. God, let's not do that. And also, when you see this, it probably means that I am getting a little bit upset and I'm trying to keep my eyes dry. I don't know why that works for me, but it does. The cool air in my eyes helps. I am by nature a crier. I'm a very emotional person. I will cry for happy stuff, sad stuff, mad stuff, frustrating stuff, you name it. I've probably cried about it. So you'll probably see a little bit of that. And I also have a cold on top of that, and today's the first day it doesn't hurt like fuck to talk. And you know what? This is for you, all the plus size goths who just feel disenfranchised. So let's begin, shall we, with a little bit of background information. I've been wanting to do this video for over a year. This is like a year and a half, almost 2 years actually. As soon as I started to go more towards goth content, away from gaming content, this was the first video I wanted to do. It's a very sensitive subject for me, as well as a lot of people out there. Because if you were raised as a plus size person, I say plus size, that's the nice way to say it. If you were raised as a fat person, a fatty, a fatso, a chunk, I'm trying to think of a whale, my favorite, then you will understand a lot of what I went through. And you probably went through some similar things, some different, some similar. If you are not a plus size person, but you know plus size people, and if you're in the US, 60% of us are overweight, so you do, then this should be of interest to you because you can kind of see a little bit of, just a little, and it's just one person's story, but kind of what it's like in our brains, you know, because I'm going to tell you what I was thinking and why I thought that, etc., etc. Let's start with when my sister Laura came to visit on my 50th birthday. We were discussing, I don't know what, it was on Sunday after my birthday, and I was talking about how I've always been fat, and she's like, no you haven't, and I was like, yes I have. And she's like, you've not always been fat. And I was like, I have been fat since I was a little kid. She's like, no, you haven't. And I was like, yes, I have. Why the hell would my mom have called me tub of fucking lard? Well, she didn't call me tub of fucking lard. She called me tub of lard. Tub of lard. Tub of lard. I'm not kidding about that. My dad called me flub. Turns out, last year, like 2 years ago, I told him that that was his version of calling me a fat person all the time. And I thought he was going to cry. I really did. He meant flubber. Flubber, that could be anything. Y'all, almost making your dad cry? Let's move on. Let's just ignore this shit because it's already a fucking mess and it's gonna get worse. And then it'll really look cool. And it kind of makes me want to think I want to go out with this, but whatever. So for my 50th, my sister, who is incredibly thoughtful, both my sisters were very thoughtful this year, but my sister Laura was incredibly thoughtful. She made this book. It's a book of me. It's a little, I don't want to say, not all out embarrassing to get something like this, but they played fucking pictures of me on the TV during the party. Just all these fucking pictures. It was crazy. So she pulls out this book because I was like, oh, I've been fat. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. Mom called me tub of lard, blah, 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 blah. So she pulls out this book. She's like, look in this book. And I was like, what the fuck, man? What the hell's wrong with you? So she starts pulling this shit out. Can you see that? Right there. That's me. Yes, I am a natural fucking ginger. I say it, nobody believes it because my hair is pink. Dude, nobody's born with this color hair. But that's a normal kid. So I was like, well, I guess I was not that fat when I was really little, but I was pretty fat by the time I was 5. Here's me, cute little muffin by the fireplace. Here's me with my sisters. We all have a picture of that. Here's me after fishing with my dad. That's like 1975 or something like that. And I think, oh yeah, it's this guy up in the top. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. Shit, I can't even get it in there. Whatever. You see that kid in the lavender dress? That is me. That is me. That is not a fat kid. I'm going to show you a picture of me in college. And people did refer to me as fat in college because by that time I probably had the fat aura. And that is this photo. How very new wave, huh? You know, I think I was 18 or 19 at that point. I mean, look at that. Look at that hair. You can't even see the front of it. That hair was crazy. This is me in high school. You can't see one way or the other, but... And then this other one is me. Obviously, look, I'm wearing Christmas earrings, so it's Christmas. So, I grew into being fat. I wasn't really fat. I was a little bit thicker than the super skinny kids. I was just not a super skinny kid. I was pretty much average, but I took on the fat persona because I was raised as a fat person. I remember shopping at Sears. Ugh, and if you had to get your jeans at Sears, it was not good. It was the 70s. Tough skins. And my mom would make me get Huskies, and I'd have to pull up my pants nonstop because the regular ones were a little bit tight. Like a little bit tight. So we went to Huskies. Now, I didn't take as much shit from my peers for being a fat kid, but I did grow boobs in the end of 4th grade. So I had that, and it makes you appear heavier when everybody else is a stick person and you have tits at 12. It also is a hormonal thing where, you know, kids do fat, skinny. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was raised as a fat kid, so I've had fat between the ears, as they say in Weight Watchers, which of course I've been to, for my entire life. It's never gone away. It's never gone away. And I am at a heavier point right now. I'm a US size 24W or a 3X, an actual size 24 or 3X, not like goth clothing is sized, whatever. So you can see where I might be very sensitive to fat references, etc. And not just someone yelling, "Hey fatty," across the street. I don't know if that's ever happened to me specifically like that, but similar things have, as they will happen to everyone who's heavy or different. And y'all know that with the different. Anyway, as long as you understand that whether or not I actually was fat, I was raised to think I was. It's messed up, I know. And became fat. Because I've always thought I was fat. And I've always thought that the fat is stronger than me. When I was younger, like 12, 13, I thought that I was as heavy as I am now. I thought I was as much heavier than average as I am now. As a 3X adult. So for people, whether or not you were that heavy or just thought you were that heavy, the mindset is the same. And you are brought up to think you can't be everything that everybody else can be because you are fat. Because when you are fat, you are not as good as other people. You are obviously very lazy. You obviously eat at least 5,000 to 10,000 calories a day because Fat Fatty McFatterton eats fat. So in my little pea brain was the thought that I wasn't good enough because of my weight. That comes into play later and all throughout this whole story. So when I first met goths, well, I had no idea. There was this group of kids. I wished I could have hung out with them, but I was too scared of them. And one of their dads hit on me in a gross way in a bar. He had no idea that I was in high school, maybe. I don't know, but he was icky. One of them was just too embarrassed to talk to me, and he was a snot anyway. So, of course, I just assumed all those kids hated my guts. I don't know if they did or not. You never know if you just assume. So let's fast forward to, like, towards the end of high school is when I started listening to this one radio show. It turns out they played a lot of goth shit. Who knew? And now I know, thinking about the music they played, I was like, yeah, I think they played Sisters of Mercy. They played The Glove, The Cure, Susie and the Banshees, probably Alien, Sex Fiend, Sex Gang Children, X-Mal Deutschland. They're probably playing all that shit. Joy Division was on the radio. Lovell Terrace Part was the popular one. I always liked Atmosphere better. You know, again, Susie got play on the radio. I hated The Cure for years and years and years because they got so much fucking radio play. I thought they were a pop band. It never occurred to me that they might be called goth. Same thing with Depeche Mode. They're not goth. They're new wave. Goths like them very much though. You know, just the music was ubiquitous. It was kind of everywhere. And I was tuning in. I was really tuning in. So during my sophomore year of college, or after that, I was like 20. Okay, I was like 20. It was 30 years ago. Oh my God, almost exactly 30 years ago. So I had this roommate who was goth. I had no idea. No fucking idea. Just he fucked up our bathtub with his goddamn black hair dye. And he could get chicks at the drop of a hat. He lived under a closet under the stairs. I kid you not, and he would take chicks back there and fuck them. And I'm sitting on the couch reading. And, you know, so if you're wondering why I get so fucking mad when I hear about people telling someone they can't be goth because fill in the physical appearance blank that isn't about clothing. That's just a little bit of kind of what's probably going through a heavy person's head. Every single fucking time they hear you're too fat to be goth, or can fat people goth, just seeing the question might make them go, oh, maybe I can't be goth. Or every time someone viciously calls them fat, because my God, the internet is a cesspit. It is a fucking, you will get some of the greatest people in the world. I have gotten some emails and messages and comments from people that are just genuinely wonderful, kind people. They're out there. You're out there. But at the same point, you'll get something like, you fat bloated hog, you can't be goth. Or I can't remember what it was. I get grandma stuff too, which I think is hilarious. But every time somebody says that to someone who's heavier, they're internalizing that shit. There's not a lot of heavier people that are just gonna be, fuck you, stupid. I mean, I'm 50. I've been through this shit over and over and over again. Okay, had to get my shit together there. Got real pissed. And my nose is now running, which is awesome because I have a cold. Excuse me, I'm disgusting. Anyway, so when heavy people are surrounded by this all the time, they're just hearing not good enough. Can't, don't, get out, fuck you. Seriously. And this idea is supported every time you go to a goth shop because sometimes the sizing is ridiculous. For instance, I was watching of Herbs and Altars today. That's why I was like, today's it. Fuck it, I'm making this fucking video. Because Dorian bought plus size. Dorian's not plus size. Dorian might think Dorian is plus sized. But they are not, in fact, plus size. I can tell just by looking at the shoulder carriage, not plus size. However, in goth clothes, Dorian might be plus size. I would suggest that Dorian may be a size 12 max. I'm not sure. But not a 4X and 2X. 2X is what they ordered. It's ridiculous. The sizing is fucking ridiculous. While there are a bunch of places whose plus sizes are just a lie. They're just a lie. When your 4X chest is 42, you're an asshole. You're just an asshole. Fuck you. But while we have those kind of places out there, ubiquitous, there are 2 on Etsy. I know there's more, y'all. You can buy custom size stuff. That's just fucking expensive! And goth clothes are all expensive anyway. But there's 2 online that I can think of right off the top of my head. One of those is Build Your Empire, which is New Goth. It's the place where I got the nun with the bleeding black eyes, and I love her so. New Goth is not generally even my style. I'd say she's got some pretty cute stuff there, though. So I'll put that link below. And then there's Exo Umbra on Etsy. And I have one of those dresses that doesn't fit me right because I am insanely small right here. So that's going to be in a DIY upcoming. May not be a dark and lazy though, because I don't know if I can pull it off lazy. And then there is Dracula clothing, which doesn't really come up to a 3X, but they do come up to an actual 2X, I think, on a few things. Well, 3X if I get the t-shirt. Because when you're a 3X woman or a 3X dude, all you get's a t-shirt. We don't even usually get a hoodie. And for a woman, you gotta buy a men's. So you're stuck with the t-shirt, or you just gotta find somewhere else to shop. I buy some things on eShakti. I can put that below too, but they're not goth. They're not even a little goth. So, you know, I just look for black stuff and then I might update them. For us, we accessorize. Having gone to goth clubs, having gone to the mixed clubs of the younger years, having seen some goth bands in the 80s live, and later on when Bauhaus toured live, being interested in that kind of stuff, doing a lot of the same things, having a fascination with horror, a fascination with the ritual of death, graveyards. It didn't occur to me people didn't hang out in graveyards. I just thought that was normal. I just thought everybody did that. Who knew? You know, a fascination with bones and skulls because, my God, they move your body. They're so interesting. And just all that so-called dark imagery. When I was a pagan, I just was very interested in dark goddesses and that underneath and that mystery. And I think that's the thing that attracts a lot of people to goth, is that mystery and that ability to actually be empathetic if you are empathetic, to be learned, you know, to be, while we look the same to people on the outside, we know that we're actually individuals, right? Attracted to all that stuff, I still never felt that I could be goth. What happened was that I had this foot surgery, so I was stuck. So I started a YouTube channel because I was like, fuck you, there's no middle-aged women out there. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna do it. So for a person who felt like they weren't allowed to be goth for like 25 years, how did I suddenly have this YouTube channel and decide, oh, I am fucking goth now? Well, I didn't really decide I'm fucking goth now. Kind of been there all along. No, I'm getting sad about it. I just felt like I didn't belong. So where did it come from that I suddenly feel like I can belong? Well, I fucking forgave myself for being fat. I just forgave myself. I am this thing. It is one thing about me. It is not the only thing about me. Now I don't care. I don't give a shit that people might hate me just because I'm heavy. That's their problem, not mine. I don't have anything to prove to them. I have not a goddamn thing in the world to prove to someone who hates the fat people. They can fuck right the hell off. They can just go hang out elsewhere. I don't need to talk to them. I don't need their approval. I need my approval. Here's where it gets a little sappy. For you of the heavier persuasion who feels like you're not allowed to do, fill in the fucking blank. Fill in the blank for the thing you think you can't do because you're fat, or the thing you think you have to put off because you're heavy. Here comes the fan. I need the fan right now. Do it anyway. Fuck that shit. Do it anyway. If not now, then when? You probably already have people in your life who love you just the way you are. And if you have people who are constantly giving you shit, you might want to limit your exposure to those assholes. Because you are more than your fat. I promise you. You are more than just the larger bits of you, than the chunks that hang or swing. And you know what? There's also people who just like that. I support you. There are more people out there that support you than you know. You large and in charge, beautiful goths. So hey, thanks for watching. Until next time.